Yo, beautiful people. This is Nate here.
This Kev.
And yo, we are Gangs Music Life. So this is a review today for this Migos project, Culture 2. Culture 2. Yeah. Is this Culture 1 or Culture 2? Because the album sounds the same. I gotta let me go ahead and say it. Like it's Migos-ish. It's one of those albums that you listen to. It's like you haven't heard it, but you heard it. That's the one thing I will say. When people ask me like, "Hey, how's the Migos track?" I know you guys review the music. People were asking me. I'm like, "You haven't heard it, but you heard it." Now, with that being said, I will go out on a limb and just say Migos is not for me. Okay, it's not wholeheartedly for me. And I'm a big Travis Scott fan. I like Travis Scott. I think Quavo is venturing into Travis Scott light. Like he's trying to go down that path, but a lot of the songs just sound the same. And I'm listening to the album, and at one point I really had to make sure it wasn't one track on repeat because it all sounded the same. I get that. One thing I can appreciate with the Migos is the fact that you're going to know what the album title is because they're going to repeat it throughout the song every time, like all throughout the song. So I felt like the beginning was it was a lull. The middle part was forgettable, but the ending ended in fire. The track Post Malone on, so 20 through 24, which is 24 tracks on this album, way too long. So from 20 to 24, it was fire. I felt like all those songs, the track with 2 Chainz, fire. But they actually felt like they were talking about something on those though. Whereas on the middle part of the album, like I said, it was definitely forgettable. They weren't talking about a damn thing, man. They were just having the album title, the song title, repeat the song title over and over and over, throw a little bit ad-libs, track over. Try to put a tough beat. It's turn up music, man. That's what this age is now. It's a turn up time. So I can't really relate to it if it had no substance to it. So I kind of zoned out during the middle part. Definitely at the beginning. The end part, they had me. They hooked me on the end part because it was tough. I like that. But I'm not a big Migos fan. So I'll leave the residential to you.
Yeah, you know what, man? The first thing I have to say about this album is it's about 8 tracks too long. And I mean, it just kind of drags on with those filler tracks, and there was really no need for it, in my opinion. I mean, if you cut it down 8 tracks, you still got 16 tracks, which I mean is a solid album. I totally get why they would want to put more tracks on there, man. In this streaming age, man, the more music there is to consume, the bigger the bank.
Okay,
so
Chris,
you know
Chris
what I'm
Brown
saying?
effect.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that, man. They just throwing darts, you know what I'm saying, seeing what sticks. But I mean, as far as a project goes, they were about 8 tracks over, to the point that I can pretty much damn near name the 8 tracks that they need to get out of there, man. Autopilot, not the greatest song out there. Emoji a Chain, that was awful. CC, I Love You Gucci, get that out of here, man. I actually kind of like Gang Gang. White Sand. Listen, man, I'm a little bit over Travis Scott at this point. Like his sound is oversaturated, and I pray that for his next album that he really ventures out and pushes himself, challenges himself to reinvent himself or to kind of update himself a little bit. Because right now he's starting to become a caricature of himself. Every time I hear him on the track, it's the same thing over and over, and it's just getting real old. Okay. I would say Beast, probably another track. Yeah, get out of here, man. Top Down on the North. I could probably do without that, man. Made Men, I think I'm cool on that, and Notice Me, I think I'm good on that as well. But when they hit on here, they really hit. And for one thing that I really noticed about this album that stood out to me is they took a lot of chances with the beats that they picked on here, man. A lot of sample based tracks on here, like that track they got Stir Fry from Pharrell. Man, my God. They went out there, they did that, man. That Walk It, Talk It, that was dope. Absolute fire. Drake came through there and wrecked it. BBO, again, man, another hit single. Narcos, I really enjoyed, man. Like, they came out, and when they were shining, Takeoff. Man, he stole the show on this whole album. This is his album. Really? I know it may be hard for you to kind of decipher which one is which.
His voice is real distinctive, though.
It is. Yeah. I mean, once you kind of learn them, you can tell who is who. Yeah. Offset's always been the wild card, and Quavo's been kind of the guy that will give you the melodies and also, you know what I'm saying, very good on the hooks. So in the spots where they were good, I thought they were pretty good, but all of the extra filler on this album made it a little bit of a hard listen. I mean, the album is an hour and 45 minutes as it is. I mean, Migos, we know that they're going to use that Migos flow. That's their signature sound. That's what they do. Not mad at that, but an hour and 45 minutes worth of that same flow, it gets a little bit redundant.
Maybe that's what it was. I tried to listen to it and like
it'll give you fatigue. Yeah, it'll fatigue you just listening to that same flow over and over. It just starts to sound like mush. After a while. After a while, it does just start to sound like mush. But I mean, for the risk that they took on here, I thought they really paid off. I was really, really impressed with some of the production on here, man. They got some soul samples on here, ventured out and adjusted the sound a little bit. But then also those filler tracks, man. just sounded like some just generic trap filler.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I just felt like they didn't need it. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. Just because you didn't need it. You didn't need it. I mean, put that on the QC project if that's what you want to do. Or put out like a little EP, something like that. Save that. But this album could have been so much better if they just cut it down, condensed it just a little bit.
There's too much music.
You know, I don't even know if I hit the 8 tracks, but trust me, it could have been.
No, trust me. You said 8. It should have been 10.
Wow.
Yeah, 10. Down to a solid 14.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I
solid 14 would be a good album.
My
My perception of the album would be totally different if it was a solid 14.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But 24?
I mean, an hour and 45 minutes is just a long time
Absolutely.
to listen to the same kind of flow. And it's like, you can't really dig in on the lyrics because after a while, that double time flow just starts to sound like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like this album, it has its really high points, but man, it shoots itself in the foot at points. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes me question what the motive is behind putting out a full body of work. Like, would they be a group that's better served to just put out singles rather than wasting their time with putting out albums?
Well, I'm going to tell you what it does, though, is like when they go on interviews and say they're the best group ever, and you put out stuff like this, that you're subject to a lot of criticism because it's so much music and it's so long of an album that even they can fall back on. To me, it's kind of seem like they give themselves an out when they say, like, well, we just threw some tracks in there.
But I feel like the majority of the album wasn't bad. It was
it wasn't
just too much. It was they just put out too much and it just all sandwiched together, and it really took away from the shining points on this album just because it was like you're gonna get a good 15 minutes of just filler or just dead air.
Yeah, and that's the part about it. They lumped it together too. They lumped those dead air out, those tracks together to where, like I said, that middle part, you're like, what in the heck is this? And
Yeah,
it ends on fire.
I mean, it started off on fire. Middle part, you know what I'm saying, just a blob, and then I wasn't as impressed with the end. Like there were a couple tracks at the end. I like the track with 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I was just so fatigued from the middle. I was like, I'm just ready to be out of here. But you never know.
What'd you give it?
Man, with it, I couldn't go higher than 79 on this.
Okay.
It was an enjoyable album, but it just drug on a little bit too long, and for everything wasn't good, man. And there was no real standout single here. I didn't feel like. I mean, I felt like Walk It Talk It probably would be the single out. Stir Fry, if they smart, they'll start pushing that like crazy. But
they will get a video for it.
There was no Bad and Bougie. There was no T-shirt on here, in my opinion.
Man, it sounds just like Culture One to me. I gave it a 70. And that's, for me, that's good because I'm not a big Migos fan. I like some of the stuff they do, and I recognize the fact that they are the wave right now. I recognize that the kids love them. Even when I asked my kids, like, do you love them? They were like, they're okay. I think it's like adults that like them more than anything. I thought, like I said, it picked up at the end. It picked up pretty steaming. It would have got lower than that if it didn't pick up at the end. Straight up and down. But let us know what you guys think, man. Migos fan, you get in here, give it 100. I don't know if you're right, but I will accept that.
Hey.
So we'll kind of go from there. Give us your score, though. We'll see where we go and kind of review that. But, I don't know, man. It's Migos. And to me, it kind of came out of nowhere, too.
I mean, they've been pushing it for a while. I knew this album was coming for a little bit of time, but I didn't feel like it lived up to Culture One. I actually enjoyed Culture One.
We both enjoyed Culture One. Culture One was short.
Culture One was short. It was only like 13, 14 tracks. But this one, I was just like, it sounds like they're capitalizing a little bit, man. Just kind of throwing as much as they can against the wall, see what sticks. So,
right.
Man.
But let us know, like I said, let us know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. We'll kind of go from there and review and, go from there.
Absolutely.
Migos. But I'm Nadir.
This Kev.
And we're Games Music Life, man. Drink more water, people.
Peace.
Peace.